This video is not for everyone. This is not a religious message, and it is not a video made to tell anyone what they should believe. This is not an argument, and this video is something else. It is a reminder. Because some things in life are not learned. They are remembered. Sometimes a person stops for a moment in life and asks a question for the very first time. Who am I, really? Most people never ask that question because life keeps us busy. You work, you build a family, you raise children, you carry responsibilities. And one day you realize something strange. You have lived your entire life for everyone else, but not for yourself. That moment is usually where a person breaks. Something similar happened in my life. A sickness, a deep loneliness. And in that silence, a name returned to memory. AETHEL'NAR. Now let us pause for a moment, because there is a name you just heard. AETHEL'NAR. This is not a character name. It is not a nickname either. It is a symbol. In ancient languages, the word Ethel means noble, elevated, of high origin, and the word Nar in many ancient traditions is associated with fire and spark and inner light. When these two meanings come together, the idea becomes something deeper, a consciousness born from fire. But this is not a title. It is a state of being. In life, there are moments when a person passes through fire. You break, you collapse, you think everything is finished. But some people are changed by that fire. In many Eastern traditions, there's a symbol for this transformation. The phoenix. The bird burns, it becomes ashes, and from those ashes it rises again. Perhaps the real transformation of a human being is exactly this: to burn, to change, to rise again, and to remember the fire within. When a person begins to question themselves, they inevitably arrive at this question. Where did humanity come from? Who am I? The answer to this question in Turkic thought is the belief in Tengri. When a person begins to question life, sooner or later, an unavoidable question appears. Where did we come from? Who are we really? In ancient Turkic thought, the answer to this question is found in the belief in Tengri. Today, many people speak about Tengriism, but very few truly understand what it means. The belief in Tengri is not a religion built around a sacred book. It is not a system created by prophets, and it does not depend on priests or religious institutions. At the center of this ancient understanding stands Kuk Tengri. Kuk Tengri is not a human-shaped god. It is not an idol, and it is not an image. Instead, it represents the eternal order of the universe, the balance that exists between the sky above, the earth below, and all life in between. In the Orkhon inscriptions, there is a powerful line. When the blue sky above and the dark earth below were created, between them the human being came into existence. This idea carries a simple but profound message. Human beings are not the masters of nature. They are part of it. That is why ancient Turkic culture shows deep respect for the mountains, the rivers, the earth, and the sky. But there is only one true source of creation, and that source is Tengri. In ancient Turkic thought, respect for nature is not simply a tradition. It is a way of life that tries to understand the balance of the universe. Within this worldview, there are several important ideas. One of them is Umay. Umay represents motherhood, protection, and the continuation of life. She is remembered as a symbol connected with the protection of children. But there is an important distinction here. Umay is not a god. In the Turkic understanding of the universe, the only being that is worshipped is Tengri. Everything else exists within creation, respected, but not worshipped. Another concept is Yursub, which literally means earth and water, mountains, rivers, forests, the land itself. In ancient Turkic culture, nature was never seen as something humans owned. Instead, it was seen as something entrusted to humanity, something that must be respected and protected. And there was also another figure within this worldview. The Kam. The Kam was not a prophet and not a priest. The Kam was someone who understood nature, someone who observed the sky, knew the plants, and understood healing. And through this knowledge, the Kam reminded people of a simple truth: to live in harmony with nature. Now we come to a very important concept: the Turkic code of law, the Tura. What kept the Turks standing for thousands of years was not only their strength in battle. What kept them standing was Tura. Tura is not simply a set of laws. Tura means justice. It means balance. It means moral order. And it is the system that allows a society to live together. In ancient Turkic society, even the ruler was not above Tura. If the ruler broke the law of Tura, the people could question him. Because Tura is not the law of individuals, it is the law of order. In the Turkic code, a person's word is their honor. Lies are shameful. Betrayal is the greatest crime. Guests are sacred. Women are respected. Children are protected. The elderly are honored. But Tura does not regulate only human relations. It also includes nature. In steppe culture, nature is not a resource to exploit. It is a trust. Human beings are not the owners of nature. They are part of it. And the ancient Turkic Tura was created to protect this balance between humanity and the natural world. But the Turkic code of law, known as Tura, is not only about relationships between people. It is also an ancient understanding that protects the balance between humans and nature. In the culture of the steppe, nature was never seen as something to conquer. It was seen as something entrusted to humanity. That is why hunting among the ancient Turks was never a form of entertainment. It was a necessity, and only what was needed was taken. A hunter would never destroy the entire herd, because if the balance of the steppe was broken, life itself would be broken. In Turkic thought, humans are not the owners of nature. They are a part of it, and this is perhaps one of the deepest ideas within the Turkic tradition. To be strong, but never forget compassion. To live, but also to allow life to continue. And maybe that is why, when a person of the steppe looks at the sky, he does not see himself separate from nature. In the belief of Tengri, the world is not merely a piece of land upon which we walk. It is a vast cosmos formed of 3 layers. The upper world, made of the 7 layers of the sky. The middle world, where we breathe and live. And the lower world, filled with mysteries. These 3 layers are not only a spatial division, they describe the order of existence itself. The upper world is the realm of light, sky, and spirits. The middle world is where humans, animals, and life continue. The lower world is the layer of transformation, darkness, and hidden knowledge. Within this order, animals are not merely living beings. They are sacred messengers carrying the spirit of nature, the Ea. In Turkic thought, every being carries a spirit. Every tree, every river, every mountain, and every animal. For this reason, in the eyes of the Turk, an animal is never just an animal. Every beating wing is a message. Every howl is an awakening. Every footprint is an ancient language through which nature speaks. Now raise your gaze upward, toward the endless blue, toward the depth of the sky beneath the great dome. There you will see the double-headed eagle. In ancient Turkic narratives, this being, also known as Uksuka, is described as the guardian of the gate of the sky. One head looks to the east, the other to the west. For this reason, it is not only a symbol of power, but also of justice and universal sovereignty. Yet the birds of the sky do not end there. Cranes, geese, falcons, and hawks. These birds symbolize the spiritual ascent of the common during sacred journeys. They are ancient messengers, traveling between earth and sky. But there is one name that is the very breath of the Turkic lineage: Aethena, the radiant she-wolf, the sacred mother who brought a people on the verge of extinction back from the ashes. Aethena is not merely a wolf. She is the will of the Turk to be reborn, the symbol of resurrection. Across the endless steppes of the middle world, she is accompanied by the Bozkurt, the grey wolf. The grey wolf is the guide who opens the path in darkness, the sign that gives direction to the lost. But the Turk does not worship the wolf. The wolf is the symbol of freedom and independence. And there is another being whose presence shaped the destiny of the steppe people: the horse. For the Turk, the horse is not merely an animal. It is like the wings of a human, a companion in war, a guide in migration, a friend in life. In ancient Turkic graves, horses were sometimes buried alongside humans, because the horse was not merely a mount, but a companion of fate. Now turn your gaze to the peaks of the mountains, to the steep cliffs where human feet rarely reach. There you will see the mountain goat, the tek. The mountain goat is not just an animal. It appears on the seals of kargans and on ancient inscriptions. Because it lives on the highest peaks, it became a symbol of closeness to Tengri. For this reason, the tek is seen as one of the earthly signs of the divine authority granted by Tengri. The kut, and in many ancient narratives, another sacred guide appears. The white deer, the white or spotted deer. A sacred guide that led Turkic tribes to new and fertile lands in difficult times. For this reason, the deer is not merely an animal of the hunt. It is the symbol of abundance and finding the path. But do not forget the great order the sky establishes above us. In Turkic, thought this order is the celestial balance between the earth and the sky dome. This force, represented by the dragon symbol, is not a monster as often imagined in the West. It represents the cycle between the layers of the sky and the earth, the turning of the seasons, the exchange of night and day, the ever-renewing balance of nature. Often depicted as two dragons intertwined, this symbol represents the ancient order operating beneath the celestial dome. Even though they are not mentioned as often as the bozkurt or the horse, cats hold a hidden place in ancient Turkic culture. They are not guardians of war, but guardians of the home and of the unseen world. In the Tengri belief system, a cat's eyes were believed to be a window into dimensions that humans cannot see. When cats stare into empty space at night, ancient traditions interpreted this as them sensing the kotu iye, the negative spirits that humans cannot perceive. For this reason, if a cat sleeps peacefully inside a house, it was believed that the spiritual shield of that home is strong. The cat acts almost like a lightning rod, absorbing and neutralizing negative energy. In Turkic mythology, every home is believed to have an eviyesi, a guardian spirit of the house. When cats suddenly play with something invisible, people believed they were interacting with this unseen protector. Their purring was never considered an ordinary sound. In ancient Kam shamanic traditions, this vibration was believed to calm the spirit and ease pain within the body. That is why when a cat curls up beside someone who is ill, it was believed to be cleansing the kutu yel, the harmful energy within the body. In ancient Turkic art, great felines such as leopards, tigers, and lions symbolized power and sovereignty. The cat, living inside the home, was seen as their smaller reflection, a little leopard. For this reason, harming a cat was considered a great misfortune in old Turkic traditions. Because cats are not merely animals. While everyone sleeps at night, they are the silent guardians who protect the kut, the spiritual balance of the home. For this reason, in ancient Turkic thought, animals are not merely parts of nature. They are living signs reminding us of the order between earth and the sky. When we look at them, we do not see only a creature. We see the trace of Tengri upon the earth. And perhaps the greatest journey of a human being is discovering that ancient symbol within one's own soul. Because when you find that ancient animal within your spirit, you begin to understand the language of the order between earth and the sky. And the sky is only the beginning.